To replace the vacuum motor on Bob Pro, you'll need a new vacuum motor and a Phillips head screwdriver. Power off Bob before starting your repair. Press the bumper in while holding down the cover button. After 5 seconds, Bob will beep, and the cover light will turn off when released. Next, remove the dustbin. Grasp the tab on the back of Bob and slide the dustbin out. Then, flip Bob upside down so the wheels are facing up. Remove the 6 large screws from the underside of Bob. Keep all screws and parts removed from Bob safely aside for later reassembly. Next, remove the 2 small screws that hold Bob's side casing. Pull to detach each piece, using a flathead screwdriver for leverage if necessary. Bob's casing is no longer secured. Carefully flip Bob onto his wheels and lift the cover to expose the main board. Then, disconnect the circuit plug connecting the cover to the main board. The main board must be partially removed to access the vacuum motor. Disconnect the 4 circuit plugs on the bottom row of the main board. Then remove the 4 screws securing the main board. Next, remove the 4 screws securing the vacuum motor. Lift the main board slightly to access the 4th screw. Then lift the vacuum motor out. Align the new motor with the 4 screw posts inside Bob. Push the motor down so it is securely placed. Then reinstall all 4 screws. Place the main board on top of its screw posts and ensure it sits flat. Then reinstall the 4 screws holding the main board. Reattach the circuit plugs along the bottom edge of the main board from left to right as follows. Take note of the open spaces on the main board. Reconnect the cover's circuit plug to the main board. Lay the cover down so it's slightly below the bumper's top edge. The bumper should move when pressed in. Flip Bob upside down. Next, install all 6 large screws on Bob's underside. Align the side casing pieces with the screw holes on Bob's underside. Then flip Bob onto his wheels and snap the pieces onto Bob's sides. Next, install the 2 small screws removed previously. Then flip Bob onto his wheels and slide the dustbin back in place. Press and hold the cover button for 3 seconds to turn Bob back on. Congratulations! You've just replaced Bob Pro's vacuum motor. Happy sweeping!